In this presentation, we will take a look at the Corporation Comprehensive Problem Worksheet. We'll take a look at For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Worksheet in terms of how it will be presented and how the worksheet will be presented in terms of a PDF file that we can use to print out and work along with the comprehensive problem. The comprehensive problem worksheet that will be presented will be color-coded to use every type of learning resource we can. The PDF files that we will provide will have a color-coded PDF file, but also include a black and white PDF file so that we can print these PDF files out and work along with the problem, even if we don't have a color printer or want to use color printing. So we'll have both of those information so that you can print this out and work through it step by step by hand along with the instructional presentations. The worksheets will include a general journal. This is where we're going to enter the normal type of business transactions in terms of debits and credits. We're going to have the debits and credits columns, the dates here. This is where most of the activity happens throughout the accounting process, us entering normal financial transactions, normal accounting transactions. Every time we enter something into the general journal, every time we journalize something to the general journal, we will then post it to the general ledger. So the general ledger will look like this. It's going to be in order. It's always in order: assets, liabilities, equity, income, and then expense accounts. So it's going to go down cash, and then assets by liquidity are the green accounts, and then the orange accounts are going to be the liability, and then the light blue are going to be the equity, and the dark blue are revenue and expense or income statement accounts. We're going to use that color coding throughout the entire problem so you can see that here, and you can see the order of the accounts in that format. Again, when you look at this in terms of a PDF file, we will provide a color-coded one, but we'll also provide one that will be black and white. It'll look a little different than this so that you can fill out the information black and white without needing a color printer or having to deal with the color on that format. So we'll present it with the color. We'll give you worksheets to print it out or work through the problem without that color. Then we're going to have the trial balance that will be created from the general ledger. The trial balance is something that we're going to create every step along the way, and I recommend doing this with your problems as well. Every time you do another transaction, think about how the trial balance will be affected, because that's really where we're going to figure out the debits and credits. That's really where we see if we're in balance, if we see if we tie out. Most problems, especially when we do them by hand, will require us to, or ask us to go through the entire month's worth of transactions before we create the trial balance. If we do that, then if something's out of balance, it's very difficult to go back. We got to do a lot of erasing and manipulating the numbers. Plus, we may not fully grasp what we're doing as much as we would if we were to just make a new trial balance. So if you want to print the trial balance possibly out multiple times, just print this page out as multiple times and fill out the trial balance as you make every new transaction. Then you'll get a really good idea of what is happening in terms of the accounting equation, in terms of the full process. So that's what we will do here in a step-by-step process. We'll also provide a step-by-step worksheet, which will put you in that position. So we could use this one worksheet to work through the entire problem step-by-step, in which case I would get a bunch of trial balance worksheets and fill it out each time. Or you can print a new PDF each time, which will put you right in the next step with us as we move to the next step. And therefore, even though this is a comprehensive problem, you can start this comprehensive problem at any point you would like by just printing out the PDF file that is in that stage or that step. If you would like to work through the entire thing by yourself with the first worksheet, then that would be a way to go as well. And in order to do that, you may want to print out multiple trial balances for that. Once we have that, this will be the overview of everything. We've got the journal entries, we've got the trial balance, we've got the general ledger. So this is what we enter the information into, the journal entry. Then we post it to the general ledger, and then we create the trial balance. And that's really what's going to help us to see if we're in balance. We want to see the relationship between these things. Most of the time when we work problems in a book problem, or think about accounting, we can't think about the big picture. They won't give us everything because it would take too much room, as this does. But we want to be able to visualize the big picture, and that's what doing a comprehensive problem helps us to do. Once we have all that information done, we're going to take that end of period adjust or trial balance. We're going to put it into an adjusting worksheet. This is going to be our worksheet to do the adjusted entries. So at the end of the time period, we'll have all of our accounts that have been entered at the end of the month. And we're going to take those and put them into the worksheet, which is a standard practice, the worksheet helping us to analyze those types of things that are just going to need to be adjusted as of the end of the month. We call those adjusting journal entries. The worksheet is perfect for adjustments because it gives us the unadjusted trial balance, and then we enter our adjustments into this column, and then we have the adjusted trial balance. This is kind of similar to this column being like the general ledger, except there's not a whole lot of detail. There's only one number that could fit into this little general ledger. For example, the change in cash or the change in accounts receivable can only have one number that I can really see detail on. And that's perfect if there's only one number, as there should be very few, given the fact that we're just doing a few adjusting entries, probably less than 10. So that in that format, this worksheet works great, and we don't really need a general ledger. If, on the other hand, as we do throughout the month, we were recording a lot of transactions to cash or accounts receivable, then we need a whole lot of detail. So that's why the worksheet works really well when we only have a few adjustments, adjusting entries to make, because it allows us to immediately see the effect on the trial balance from these journal entries that we are making. Once we have the adjusted trial balance done, then we finally get to the main event. We get to make the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of equity, and we will create that from the adjusted trial balance. So that's going to be our next worksheet, where we're going to have the financial statements that we will construct and build from the adjusted trial balance. So that'll include the balance sheet, the income statement, and the statement of equity. We'll go through these each step by step in process, and we'll provide you with a new worksheet each time. We'll provide with a new PDF file each time, one in color if you're able to print out the color, and one in black and white if not, and that should allow us to work through these problems and fill the information out by hand along with it. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.